What's going on, man? It's your boy Jay Holley, and we are back with another episode of Unfiltered with Jesse Holley. Thank you. You're far too kind. You could anywhere in the world, but I'm so glad you are here with me. I am Jesse Holley, aka Salt and Pepper Poppy, the sports talk equivalent of Braille. People feel me when I speak. Hey, listen, if this is your first time here, welcome. But I know it's been a while, and so I got to get back in the groove. I got to get you back in the groove. So y'all know how I like to do this. I like to give my motivation at the top because let's be honest, some of y'all may not be here at the end, and that's perfectly fine because I'm not for everybody, and that's okay too. But here's what we got today. Here's my word of motivation to you. The trial that you are in right now is not your problem. It is your preparation. Everything in life, good, bad, or indifferent, it's been sent here to grow you. So don't look at the trial that you're in right now and look at that as just, woe is me, it's raining on my head again. But look at that as, what am I supposed to learn in this season? Don't look at it as a problem. Look at it as it is preparing me. It is giving me the tools. It is giving me everything that I need for the next level. So allow that preparation to happen. Allow that birth to be incubated and allow it to grow. Nurture it, feed it, learn from it. And then when you come out on the other side, dominate. All right. So the trial that you're in today right now is not your problem, but it is your preparation. All right, let's get right into this thing. We are at Playmakers. We have Playmakers 88 at 5005 Highway 121 in the Colony. I had to call up my mans. In them. I had to make the phone call. I said, listen, bro. I said, Playmaker. Playmaker said, what's up, Jess? Listen, if y'all don't know Mike is Mike 24 hours a day. Like this isn't something that you see on TV where Mike turns it off. Like that's who he is 24 hours a day. So when he calls you or he picks up, he's like, oh, what's up, man? What's going on? Like, and he's like, he wants to prophesy and he wants to do, that's just Mike. But we're down here at his sports bar and restaurant in the Colony. I had to call the big homie up and say, listen, man, you know what I'm doing? I want to take my greatness, match it up with your greatness, and I want us to be great together. He said, Justin, no problem, Justin. No problem. Just, hey, listen, what you need? Come on down. So I'm here. Down here at Playmakers. I hope y'all miss me because I missed you. I miss doing this. I missed Unfiltered. I miss being who I am, 100% me, authentically me. But I'm back. We had to kind of, listen, what was happening had to happen. It had to grow us. It wasn't our problem. It was our preparation. So now we here, take it to the next level. We at Playmakers in the Colony. But let me jump right into this thing while we're talking about Playmakers and we're talking about anything that's wrapped around the Cowboys. What the hell is going on in, I'm going to call them Alice, because they ain't playing no D. You won't even get the D. That came off. That's a pause moment right there. I got to get back in my groove. That's a major pause moment. Man. But what is going on? The Cowboys fall again this weekend to the Baltimore Ravens. The score is not indicative of the game. 28-25, the end of that game, and it wasn't even that close. Baltimore almost coughed up one, but it wasn't until the last 9 minutes of that football game that the Cowboys looked like they had any resemblance of life. They looked like dead men walking. They looked like they were present on the field, but absent in the body of effort, absent in the body of alignment assignment football, absent in the body of playmaking ability, absent in the body of tackling, absent in the body of doing anything that resembled good football. And the question still remains, what the hell is going on with Dallas? And I watched the game, and can I be completely honest with y'all? What I felt watching that game is the same thing that I felt in Green Bay. Now, you may be thinking, Green Bay, yeah, I felt that. No. Not playoff Green Bay. The Green Bay game that ultimately led to the firing of Wade Phillips. I was a part of that team. And I watched a lot of dudes quit on the football field. I watched a lot of dudes turn a deaf ear to the things that was trying to be coached. And I ultimately saw a man lose his job in Wade Phillips. And when I'm watching the Cowboys game and I'm looking at what happened a week ago in the New Orleans game, followed by what is currently happening to them in this Ravens game, and then I go and I hear the post-game comments from Mike McCarthy, who says, I didn't like our preparation this week. I hear post-game comments from Dak Prescott that says we didn't practice well. I then hear post-game comments from Trayvon Diggs, Tank Lawrence, Micah Parsons, that basically said we still playing a bunch of hero ball. Guys are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Guys are not having the proper assignments. Guys are playing hero ball, Superman ball, YOLO ball. And for me, watching what I watched, now hearing what I'm hearing, it felt just like that. Because can I paint a picture for you? Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine playing the way that you played against the New Orleans Saints. Leaving that game, going home, I guess being with your family, I guess. Hearing what all the media has to say, watching it probably somewhere on TV, or you seen the highlights on your Instagram or your Twitter or your TikTok, because they were everywhere. Having to look yourself in the mirror and say, I put that crap on tape. Because after the game, the Saints game, you got to have a man in the mirror moment. And who wants to make that change? Shout out to MJ. But then you get to the building on Monday. And on Monday, you got to sit through that ugly, ugly performance that, to a man, outside of Brandon Aubrey, he's the only one that is exempt. You had to watch, to a man, you get bullied and embarrassed from go. And then I'm sure in that meeting there is some, I hope, that there is some cussing and some fussing and some coaches are embarrassing folks and things are happening. And then you got to deal with your position coach, your offensive side, the defensive side of the ball, then your position coach. And I hope maybe we need to bring back, there's certain things that have left in the world that I think sometimes we might need to bring back. It's not enough public shaming going on for me when you put a performance out like that. Not enough bullying going on when you put a performance. I know I shouldn't say that publicly. But you shouldn't be able to put that type of performance on the field and be welcomed back into the locker room. You shouldn't be able to do what Jordan Phillips did and get knocked off the ball 8, 9, 10 yards, and we welcome you back in. We got to ostracize you a little bit. We got to shame you a little bit. We got to bully you a little bit because you ain't really giving it up for us. There's no way you can see that and go, you really a part of what we want to do. But to have those meetings and have those real conversations, they had a leadership meeting last week. And then to go out and supposedly, because according to Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott, then go out and practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. To be able to try to right the wrongs of what y'all just saw on film. Monday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday. And then you get to the game on Sunday, and I'm sure that there is a feeling of, I'm about to get my get back. I'm going to get my lick back. Ain't no way they going to do to me this week what they done to me last week. It ain't happening. And I'm sure at some point in time, someone gave some sort of riveting and rally cry type speech. I'm sure of it. Maybe it was one of the leaders, Tank, or somebody did. And then you go and you do the coin toss. I'm painting y'all a picture. Just stay with me. Let me work this Picasso. And Israel Mukuamu wins the coin toss. And he says, give me that bleepity bleep ball, or we're taking the bleepity bleep ball. As if y'all had some sort of swag to you. And so you take what happened to you, man in the mirror, having a real conversation. Coaches should have been cussing us out all throughout the week. Then you go through practice, and we're supposed to be righting our wrongs of what we did. We have these great speeches before the game. We're at home. Team we're playing is 0-2. We need a win. They need a win. And you go out there, and from go, you get your head busted to the white meat. Offensively, you have a bad offensive line. Your star receiver, he was receivering. Receivers, we get that diva label. And defensively, again and again and again and again, you were plowed, you were moved, you were uprooted. Some of y'all made some business decisions. I'll let y'all go and watch the film to figure out who. But some of your favorites, some of your stars, a few of y'all all-pros, they made some business decisions when it came to tackling old King Henry. But you get worked in another embarrassing fashion at home. You know, home games, your mama and them be there. Them home games, your people be there. Your wife be there. Your baby mama be there. Your side piece be there. They're all in the same section. I won't say too much about that. But your folks, your kids there, they got your jersey on. It say my daddy in the back. And you put that on the field. A dog walking to the tune of 275 rushing yards. My goodness. Nobody has any answers. Everybody's doing this. And a part of me, well, I do think the Cowboys have a player problem. I do. I just think you got some players who just can't play. Mozzie Smith, my boy, no disrespect. No disrespect. with all due respect, you should not be playing on the football field. I don't care where they drafted you at. Terrence Steele, no disrespect. With all due respect, you're bad at football. And y'all gonna get somebody hurt. I'll give the rookie left tackle a pass because he's a rookie. I'll give some of the linebacker rookies a pass because they're rookies. Donovan Wilson, you ain't a rookie. Trayvon Diggs, you made some business decisions. And you hear and you see them fighting. And CeeDee Lamb. It's time to grow up, Playboy. And I'm okay. I'm okay with on the sidelines being frustrated. This is an emotional game. You put a lot into this game, a lot into what you have to do. Your body is thrown into this thing. And so I'm okay with sometimes on the sideline there being a little bit of a kerfluffle. A little bit of a tongue wrestling match. I get it. But what I can't have is, I can't have you tongue wrestling on the sideline. I can't have you showing up your quarterback, throwing your hands up in the air, slapping on the turf. I don't know if you took yourself out the game or they took you out the game. Towards the end, you were out of those plays. But then you go out there and you fumble the ball and you drop the ball and you're not in a good mental space. Can't have it. I can't have both of those. You can't pout on the sideline and show me up as the quarterback on the field. Can't do it. You're one of the leaders. And you can't tell me that you're not a vocal guy. I'm not a vocal leader. I'm not, I'm a lead by example. I'm not a vocal guy. But then be a vocal tyrant. Those two don't match. If you could get vocal and be yelling and fussing and screaming and talking on the sideline when you in your Keyshawn mode, give me the damn ball, and you could be vocal when everything else is going good and coaching guys up and being a vocal leader there. I can't have both. Can't have it. But why I put a lot of this on the onus of coaches and Freaky Mike, that's my guy. That's my dude. But we keep it real up here. You know how Unfiltered gets down. Freaky Mike, I'm losing. I've lost hope. I've lost hope that you're actually the guy for this job. I have. Your West Coast offense or Texas Coast offense, whatever it is, it's outdated, bro. It's outdated, bro. When you neglect to change to match the times that you're in, you become a dinosaur. You know why dinosaurs are extinct? They didn't adapt. I don't know if that's really true or not, but it just sounded like I was supposed to say that right there. So just ride with me. I don't need a scientific fact. Please don't put in the comments. I don't need none of that. 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 Just go with me. You either adapt or you die. You either learn how to get away from the asteroids or they cook you. You learn how to migrate somewhere else, or you're wiped out. And why I say that I put a lot of onus on the coaches is because here's what I know to be factual. You're either coaching it or allowing it. So either you're coaching these guys to be selfish and hero ball and unwilling to do alignment football properly, either you're coaching that or you're allowing it. Mike Zim, you're coaching it or you're allowing it. Because by nature, us as football players, we are bred and programmed to follow direction until we no longer respect the direction that is given to us. Then we go rogue. Football players are a lot like children. We're big, strong, fast, super athletic, freaky supernatural athletes, but we're children. You let us do if I set a kid down and I gave them a bowl of broccoli, and right next to that bowl of broccoli, I said, here's a bowl of Skittles. Have at it. They're going to do kiddie stuff and eat the entire bowl of Skittles. And if the next day they got up and they got a bowl of Skittles and I never said anything, they eat it. And they do it for dinner. They would do it until their teeth rotted or their stomach began to hurt. And even then, once it stopped hurting, they do it again. Because that's what kids do. Football players are the same way. If you give us the reign to do what we want to do, we'll do it. Even when we know it's not right. So you're either allowing it or you're coaching it. Period. That is the facts about the matter. So when I hear guys go, we got guys playing Superman ball. We got guys not doing their assignments. We got guys not doing what they're supposed to do. We got guys not filling their gaps. We got guys. And all these guys are doing things that are not supposed to be done. Again, I sound like a broken record. You're either coaching it or you're allowing it. And the thing with Mike Zim, because I wasn't all in on Mike Zim. I wasn't. That wasn't a choice of mine. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think I even wanted Mike Zim. I don't even believe I even wanted him here. I don't believe I wanted him here. But y'all, and yes, I'm saying y'all told me just how much he was going to come in and he was going to be all these things that we needed. He was anti-Dan Quinn. He was everything that a coach, that Dan Quinn was a coach. He was the opposite. He's not this player-friendly guy. He's not this guy who's going to buddy you and let guys just go and do what they want, when they want, how they want, yada, 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 yada. And I'm pulling up my list because I wrote this stuff down. And I want to make sure that I say this and I get this properly. Come on, list. With your funky self. Here we go. Y'all told me Zim was going to be different. He hasn't. You told me Zim was going to bring toughness. Have you watched the first 3 weeks? Because y'all can tell me whatever y'all want about Cleveland. Cleveland's a bad football team, but a very bad quarterback who's mentally broken. This team is not tough. The last 2 weeks to tell you that. Not tough. Y'all said Zim was supposed to bring discipline. He hasn't. That's not what I'm saying. Listen to the stars. Tank, Diggs, Micah. Y'all told me all in training camp that he's going to bring this discipline in and set these guys up and set these guys straight. We're not going to be doing that YOLO ball under my watch. That's exactly what they're doing. Under your watch. Y'all told me Zim was going to bring a new plan to free what was the lion that is now the assassin. His words, not mine. Micah is on pace to have his worst statistical year to date. To date. Under Mike Zim. And you want to talk about who's about to get real pissy? See, the assassin sat back and he watched Dak Prescott get his second big contract. And the assassin sitting back and he watched CeeDee Lamb get his first big contract. And now the assassin is sitting back and he's saying, oh, my time is coming that I'm going to get the next big contract. Not only am I going to get a big contract, I'm going to get the contract that resets the defensive market. I'm going to go and be the highest defensive player in NFL history. I believe in his agent. I like David Malugeta. How you say his name? David Malugeta? Him. I like him. David is a shark. And David just might get that. But the way things are going right now, he might have to work a little bit harder. Now, things may turn around and he may shoot up the rocket, but I'm just saying. Zim was supposed to bring in a scheme that was supposed to free him up. Hadn't done that. Go watch the games. And then Zim was supposed to bring in a better run-stopping scheme because, remember, that's what was supposedly got you guys upset and ready to throw away Dan Quinn. You wanted him out of here. He took the job at Washington. But it was because he can't stop the run either. He got Marquise Bell playing linebacker and Donald playing linebacker. And he want to do all this big nickel this and big nickel that and not having true linebackers in there. Cool. Y'all told me that Zim was going to come in and have a plan, have a scheme, have guys ready to play. They gave up 275 yards to the Baltimore Ravens. In the last two games, quarterbacks have passed 31 times in 2 games combined. In the last 2 games, the Cowboys have given up 465 yards on the ground. Derrick Henry ran for $175. Lamar Jackson ran for 88. King Henry had average $151. He averaged 6.1 yards a carry. 6.1 yards a carry. Holy moly guacamole. But this is what I was told that Zim was supposed to come in here and do it. So again, I put a lot of this onus. Yes, players have to go out there and play. But coaches also have to coach. And if those guys, another thing I say about coaching, if you could turn on the film and you could see guys that are out there not doing what you coached them to do or asked them to do, stop marching them out there. Stop putting them on the field. I don't care if it's Tank or Micah or whoever. If guys are out there not doing what they're supposed to be doing, assignment-wise, you got to stop marching them out there. Someone has to set the example. There has to be a tone set somewhere. Because what you keep marching out there, there's no accountability in that. There's no accountability in that. You want to know why Micah and why Tank got into a little tongue wrestling match? Because one guy is trying to tell the other guy or some other guys about assignment alignments, and the other guy is saying, well, you ain't doing it either. You saying these guys ain't doing their job and is hanging you out to dry. And the other guy saying, well, you ain't doing your job either, and you leaving these other guys out to dry. So you got a bunch of guys, stars and non-stars, who are out there doing their own thing. And you keep putting them back on the field. Again, I'll say it again. You're coaching it or you're allowing it. Either way, it's bad business. It's bad business. And ultimately, this falls directly on the shoulders of Jerry Jones. Because you hired these coaches, you limit them to having the resources that they need, and you keep trying to pee in our eye and tell us it's raining. I can't afford Derrick Henry. The hell you can. You didn't want to pay for Derrick Henry. Because you could have easily, because you falter to the contracts anyway, you could have easily got Dak and CD done in the offseason like they were supposed to be done early March or April, and freed up cap money and went and go sign Derrick Henry, who Derrick Henry's been on the record and said, I live in the offseason in Dallas. I train in the offseason in Dallas. They never even called me. But you decided that, we're going to bring back Zeke. Okay. Like, you keep trying to tell us, I like our roster. What? You might have to hand them glasses back to Steven or Jerry Jr. again and let them clean them again. You can't like their roster that you saw these last 2 Sundays. And as the general manager, your job is to put together a roster. A formidable roster. And you've constantly neglected these areas that you're seeing now show up in a major way. We've been screaming nose defensive tackle for, I don't know, until we've been blue in the face. We've been screaming, you got to stop putting Terrence Steele out there. We've been screaming these things. And while I'm not a fan of everybody having access to film, not everybody, some of y'all don't deserve it. If folks can see it who don't or don't have a trained football eye, how is this not? And I think sometimes that Jerry thinks that we, as the people, are still living in the 1990s. That the only information that we get is from the newspaper. And what they write has to be law. Like, we got this thing called the internet. It's a wild thing. Trust me. I'm telling you, Jerry, we got this thing called the internet and things like Google. Insane. Like, you could literally type in anything into this search engine, and like that, the information is present. We have this thing called social media now. I'm telling you, Jerry, listen, my boy, don't know if you know about this. It's an insane product. Like, it is. Alexander Graham Bell, like, it go up there with them. Benjamin Franklin, who was Benz was the guy who came up, discovered the car, right? Like, I'm talking about that level of invention this social media thing is, my boy. Where we can now have access to human beings all over the world. And those human beings know how contracts work because they used to write them and draw them up and were agents and were front office people. And they actually give us the information on this thing. So when you say certain things, I don't know if you know that we know, that you know that we know, that I know that you know that we know. We can see the answers. So when you say you can't pay people, not if you say you don't want to. Now, if you don't want to, you don't want to. But to say that you can't, and when we look and we go, well, you got this amount of money available. And had you done contracts the right way that you were supposed to, you would have had that money available in the spring to go and sign. I'm not saying you had to sign Derrick Henry. J.K. Dobbins is out there in L.A. going ham. I mean, the guys are out there. Joe Mixon was available, I believe. I mean, the guys are there. And I think better than the guys that you have in your locker room right now, in your running back room right now. But I think because of the way that you think and you operate, and you're right, you are the best to ever do it. It's what you said in your article with Clarence Hill, and I agree. You are the best owner to ever own a franchise. Speaks in the value of your franchise. But I would push back just a smidget. Not much. Because the last time I got real close to a smaller white man, lost my job. Don't want to lose my job again. And you still cut checks because I work for your company over there. Still work for the Cowboys. But I would push back just a smidget. You're not the best GM to ever do it. I say that respectfully. With all due respect. And the thing that you've been afforded for a very long time is that you don't have to answer to anyone. That's dope. To be able to do what you want, when you want, how you want, make a boatload of money, and not have to answer to a damn soul. I'm not going to lie. If there was an application to have that, sign me up. That sounds fun. To make more money than I could possibly spend. To not be relatively good at it and have to answer to nobody. Woo! Wait, that does sound good, though. I ain't going to hold you. That sounds dope. I ain't going to hold you, Tay. That sounds dope. And the one thing that the one thing that I'll continue to ask you to stop being stupid when you approach people like me and others and go, the media doesn't hold Jerry accountable. The media doesn't hold Jerry accountable. And I mean this respectfully, with all due respect. Shut up. Jerry don't care about what I say. You think if I said, Jerry, you were, you know what he would say to me? Just make sure you spell my name right. He don't care. Jerry goes, my franchise is worth $11 billion. I make more money than I can spend. But who you should start blaming? You guys are the enablers. Not us media. Not us. We do hold him accountable. We do say things about Jerry, the GM. We do. And I don't tell anybody how to live their life or spend their bread. Y'all the enablers. You know why he does what he does? Because the money is booming. Because you buy tickets and concessions that he owns and parking and merch. And you give him some of the highest TV ratings on television because you tune in. You pay the cable bill or your YouTube bill or whatever hell bill that you got to watch. We don't hold them accountable. You don't hold them accountable. I bet if that evaluation dropped, because all it's done is done. I don't think it's ever dipped. All it's done is done this. In the media, I've been a part of the Cowboys since 2009. I don't think I spent over $10 on anything Cowboy related in my life. Ain't me. Now, I say that not as a throw it in your face. I say this, I come from a blessed place, but you are the enabler, not me. You're the one that don't hold them accountable. You show up. I want you on this. Remember I told you guys about this thing that I think Jerry didn't know that we had called the internet and Google. I want you to go and look because the information is there. I swear to you, if you just type it in the Googles, I promise you, a couple keys to clicks like that. And you type in, what NFL franchise leads the league in attendance every single year? And you'll start scrolling up that thing. And I think you may not only maybe about 2 or 3 times not see the name Dallas Cowboys. And I ain't talking about by a couple hundred people. I'm talking about by a couple 100,000 people. Their total attendance each year. 900,000 in a season. Almost 1 million in attendance a season. And you're going to start looking at the average, it's going to be like 450, 500. Agile clocking around 900 for the football season. Y'all ain't holding them accountable. But the Cowboys have to some way, somehow find answers. Because, you know, and they'll probably go and do what the Cowboy thing that they do and beat up on the Giants. Maybe. I was confident 2 weeks ago. I'm not so confident about that now. But again, if you're from anywhere like I was from and how I was brought up, you only got points if you beat the bully up or someone of equal value to you. You don't get no points beating up on Lil Man. That never got you status in the neighborhood because you beat up on Lil Man who collect the Legos. Because you beat up on Lil Man who had the dopest Batman collection. You don't get no points for that. So the Cowboys, and I get it, it's who they play next. But you don't get no points if you beat up on the Giants. We all knew that you would do that. They're probably worse than you. But the blueprint is out. We're gonna see what you're gonna do with it. This Cowboy team has been very undesirable. They have left a lot up for I don't even know the term. But if you're not careful, Mike McCarthy. If you're not careful, Mike Zimmer. You could lose this locker room very quickly if you haven't already lost it. And once you lose the locker room, you're like a bloodhound who won't hunt. You're no good to me. I got to take you out back and old yell at you. So we'll see what they do. Short week. Don't let 2 losses become 3. Don't let this thing keep rolling down the hill. Short week. Got the Giants on Thursday. We'll see how that goes. Should be interesting. The Giants are looking at y'all like, hey, they fool right now. We might be able to scoop and sneak one out on them jokers. They beat Cleveland, we beat Cleveland. Giants ran the ball 35 times against Cleveland collectively. You can probably bet your firstborn and all the money that you have in your account that they're probably going to try to run the football again. Just a hunch. If I was a betting man, which I am not, I would take a little scratch down there and I would go, give me the over in rushing attempts by the New York Giants. I don't care what number you set it at. They're going to try to get over. They are. But the Cowboys have to get things together from top to bottom. Mike McCarthy, you got to get better in your play calling, your motions, your pre-snap creativity, your post-snap creativity. Zim, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know what you got to do, bro. I don't know. You keep marching. I don't know. It's bad. It's bad. When I watched the film today and watched the film last week, and it's bad. It's bad football, and it's at every single level. And they're taking turns. Sometimes they're doing it 2 and 3 at a time of bad football on the defensive side. The only one that we can praise, the only one we acknowledge is Brandon Aubrey. Like butter, baby. Brandon Aubrey. You invited to the cookout, my boy. When they play that Frankie Beverly and Mays, you can sing along. Whoa, whoa. You make me happy. Hey, this you get. When they play that Brandon Aubrey, you can sing along, my boy. Hey, don't bring none of that potato salad with the raisins. We don't want it. But you can bring yourself. Bring ice and some plates. Come on to the cookout, Brandon Aubrey. You're invited. Because you're the light. You're the one positive thing that we look out for the Cowboy games now and we go, that Brandon Aubrey's nice. So we appreciate you, Brandon Aubrey. Thank you, man. All right, man, let's go around the NFL briefly, man, before I get up out of here. I just want to get back in the groove of things, man. I'm back. We're back. Unfiltered is back. I miss y'all. I do. I miss y'all, man. Y'all know I ain't wrapped too tight. Y'all know I ain't got all my But around the NFL, man, we talk about and we let's be honest, we glaze over. We be glazing over anything from the Shanahan tree. We be glazing. We for sure be glazing. But I think that there may be, and I may be premature with this, but I can always come back and ask for forgiveness later. But the Shanahan and the Shanahan tree may have found their David. The Goliath that is Kyle Shanahan and the Shanahan tree and that offensive scheme, that ginormous giant, we may have found his David. We may. Because up to this point, Kyle Shanahan and those who come from his tree have been putting belt to butt all across the league. Unless you Andy Reid, and then it don't matter. Andy Reid's God in the coaching. He's the best right now. But Kyle Shanahan and his Shanahan tree, guys like Bobby Slowick, guys like Clint Kubiak, guys like Mike McDaniels, guys like DeMeco Ryans in Houston. I guess you could say Robert Saleh. They have been damn good. People have begun to copy their style. Not Mike McCarthy, but others. But earlier in this football season, I think we may have found the David. Remember when David, I'm going to take you out of church right quick. When David slayed Goliath, we all know, right? It was what? A rock and a slingshot. Okay? David had 5 rocks. Come on, stay with me now. Somebody in the chat say amen. David had 5 rocks. Do you know why David had 5 rocks, Tay? Goliath had 4 brothers. David, shout out to Rev Turner. You're going to be proud of this when you watch this, Rev Turner. David had 5 rocks, 1 slingshot. And David said, I ain't going to miss. Now, we can get all to biblical, all that kind of stuff. But the David to the Shanahan and the Shanahan tree Goliath, Brian Flores. Yup, that Brian Flores. The one that Tua said wasn't very kind to him. The one that, when he was available after he got finished suing the league and the Miami Dolphins and others, Coach Mike Tomlin of Pittsburgh was like, hey, come work for me. He is now the Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator. And right now, if I'm not mistaken, the Minnesota Vikings are what? 3-0. With Sam Darnold. With Sam Darnold. But Brian Flores, what he has done, Bobby Slowick from Houston, he just whooped up on them 34-7. Held that offense to 7 points. Bobby Slowick is one of those guys from that tree. 7 points. Oh, okay. Oh, that's one of the little disciples. Cool. Flores also beat King Goliath himself. He beat Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers. 23-17. So I know that it's early, and this is going to be a question that we'll monitor this. We'll monitor, not monitor, but monitor the progression of Brian Flores throughout this year. Because if I'm a team looking for a head coach next year, especially if the Goliath in my conference is a disciple of the Shanahan tree or a Shanahan, I might want to bring Brian Flores on. It seems like right now he might have the answer. And I'll just ask you, Tay, I'll ask you, chat. Name a superstar on the Vikings defense. We don't have a lot of tape left. There's no Max Crosby or TJ Watt or Nick Bosa or Micah Parsons or Myles Garrett running around on that defense. He's on Houston's team. He's in Houston. Daniil Hunter is in Houston. That's why I'm saying, like, look at the guys that he's assembled. And he's taking it to Kyle Shanahan himself and one of his disciples. So maybe I could be premature. Maybe the David to the Goliath of the Shanahan and Shanahan tree is Brian Flores. We will monitor it. We'll talk about it. I'll keep my good cat eye on it. Because if he's the one that's figured this out, he might be in line for a head coaching job. The Giants will probably look for a new head coach next year. And I hope that he doesn't go to the Eagles, because the Eagles might be looking for a new head coach this year, depending on how their season goes. There may be a couple other teams who may change head coaches next year. But if Brian Flores has decoded the Shanahan scheme, maybe he'll be a head coach next year. But we'll monitor that. We'll keep a close eye on that. Speaking about another guy who's kind of undecoded, figured it out, I may have to get my Deion Sanders on. I may have to start backpedaling. I may have to unpack him. You know, I packed him up. I packed him way up. But coaching matters. Situation matters. Who I'm around, who am I coaching, what scheme am I in? I might have to unpack your boy Justin Fields. Justin Fields 3-0 right now. It ain't pretty. But Mike Tomlin, who I think will go down as one of the greatest coaches to ever coach in this league. It will be good if he added more championships to his belt. But boy, he's good. Boy, he is phenomenal. And he has taken Justin Fields, and they're 3-0. And he's basically told Justin Fields, I don't need you to be Superman. I don't need you to be Batman. I don't even need you to be Robin. I need you to be like Alfred. Don't laugh at Alfred. Alfred was important. I need you to just don't lose us the game. Right now, in 3 games, the Pittsburgh Steelers have given up 10 points, 6 points, 10 points. Do that math. What is that? Like 8 point something? 16, 26, 28. I think it was like 8.9. That's public school right there, baby. It's that 26 divided by 3. It's like 8 something. Right? 8 times 3 is 24. What is it? Come on, bro. Come on, yo. What is, do the calculator? It's like 8 and some change. 8 point something. Yo, you're bugging. You just went to the calculator. But that's what Pittsburgh has given up. They've given up 8.7. This guy, yo. 8.7 points a game. 10 to the Falcons, 6 to the Broncos, 10 to the Chargers. 10 points a game? So I'm saying, Brian Flores, 10 points a game he's giving up. It might be the David. Might be the slingshot. And they got the Colts next week, and then they got to play. It's going to be a good game when they play the Cowboys. But I might have to unpack Justin Fields. And not just yet. And I'm of the belief right now, sorry, Russ, you got to wait, my boy. You're not getting back in there right now. I know that date. No, you're not getting back in there right now. Not until this young man falters. We got something going. We got something rolling. We not playing this, interrupting the game. So that's going to be interesting. But I might have to. I'm not quite there yet because I still don't like athletes turn quarterback. That's just me. It's not a black and white thing for me. Don't know if you can tell. I'm not Caucasian. But I am a receiver at heart. And I don't want a guy who thinks run first. I just don't. I want you to be, I'm selfish. I want you to be focused on me. Forget your feet. Cut them off all I care. give you just enough mobility to move around in the pocket, to throw me the ball. I don't need you. I would hate to play for Lamar Jackson. I would hate to play with Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson probably a good dude. Would hate to play for Lamar Jackson. They threw the ball 16 times last game. 16 times? That means I got to run all day long and block? Y'all bugging. Not me. Nope. I want to go play with Patrick Mahomes. Slang that thing. But we'll monitor that. We'll monitor Brian Flores. We're going to monitor Justin Fields to see. But, man, that's all I got, man. I'm just happy to be back with y'all, man. I really am. I missed y'all. I miss being able to come here and unwind and get unfiltered with y'all. Make sure you guys like, subscribe on the Unfiltered Fanatics View. And we're everywhere, right? Hit me up on Twitter at Mr. Fourth and Long. Y'all can catch me everywhere. I'm outside. When I tell y'all I'm outside, I mean that every sense of the word. I'm outside. So lock in. Yeah, that's all I got, man. That's all I got. So remember, we're down here at Playmakers. 5005 Highway 21 in the Colony. If you want to come by, check me out. If you want to come by, there's probably some of y'all that's probably out there and be like, man, if I ever run into that Jesse Holley, man, I'm going to smack him in the mouth. I hope there's none of y'all out there like that. You know what's funny? I need to record sometime how my mother talked to me. It's wild. Because she always tells me, she's like, your mouth. Somebody she says F me up. She says the F word. So somebody going to F you up one day because of your little mouth. And I can say, I'm batting 1,000. Nobody's F me up yet. But as I get older, I get a little fearful. I'm not going to lie. I get a little fearful because I'm not as quick as I used to be. I for sure don't have the stamina that I once had. I don't know if I can actually take a punch right now. I'm sure I can, but I don't want to. Don't smack me in the mouth, y'all. But y'all know where to find me. I'll be at Playmakers on Mondays and Thursdays filming. Come down here, get something to eat, get something to drink, do as you please. It's a beautiful place. Nice people here, good food here. Shout out to RJ, the lead chef. Yeah, I'll be here between like 4 and 7. Come down here, watch the game. I might stay at one night and watch the game. Won't, on Monday nights, Thursday nights, if my schedule says so. But y'all don't come down here and smack me, please. But if you come down here and you want to attempt to smack me, get food first. Order a drink, order some food. Hopefully it changes your mind. But I'll be outside. I'll be here. My mother might be right one day. I hope that she not. I hope that none of y'all give her the satisfaction of being right. That someone's gonna F me up one day because of my mouth. Don't let her be right. Don't let my mother be right. Leave me alone and just let me talk my talk. And don't come down here with no mess. Get food. Food is good here. All right, man. That's all I got for you, man. I'm out. How do I extro? How do I used to like outro? I forgot how I outro. Say the motivation again. Oh yeah. All right, there we go. Boom. And then I say eliminate the contingencies. I know I say that part. I'm getting back in the swing of things. Yeah. I got you. I know that part. And remember, man, the trial that you're in right now is not your problem. It is your preparation. Allow it to grow you. Allow it to mold you. Allow it to put you in the new space that you are supposed to be in. And thrive in it. Dominate it when you come out of it. All right, that's it for me, man. I'll holla at y'all. Eliminate the contingencies. I'm out.